Greetings, everyone. DC Dungeon Master here. You can just call me DC. And finally, we're doing this. Getting my channel back up and running and kicking things off by telling you exactly what the hell I'm doing.
Let's see how long the commitment lasts.
Oh yeah, we're here too.
We'll get to who these assholes in my head are. But first,
Hello.
let's
DC,
go for a brief
this is your
overview.
conscience.
Alright.
This is your conscience, DC. I'm telling you, this is a bad idea.
Alright, let's get this over with. Or, well, let's get this started in the first place.
Listen to your conscience, damn it.
Alright, so my channels. So I'm basically running two channels. I have my main channel, DC Dungeon Master, where I'm hosting my own my regular show Dungeon Crawl as well as game reviews. Dungeon Crawl is going to be my main series, but I'm also going to be showcasing a few side series, kind of offshoots where they wouldn't necessarily fit in the main scope of Dungeon Crawl, but they're still things I'd like to talk about anyways. But we'll get to them later. I'll also be doing the occasional stream on my Twitch channel whenever I have the free time. Mostly, it's just when I want to, shoot the shit. Because when I'm playing something, usually I'm either playing it for fun, playing it to record stuff for footage and stuff for Dungeon Crawl and reviews, or I'm recording it for commentary for my second channel, Daybreak Commentators. That's going to be my Let's Play channel. It's regular post-commentary LP style, record the game, and then I do post-commentary with these assholes. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello, DC. This is your conscience speaking.
My quote-unquote conscience that you hear is Eric. The other guy
No,
is Pat.
Eric does not exist. This
Hi
is
there, everybody.
DC's conscience.
Anyways, we'll be doing, post-commentary LPs, and we'll also be doing streams on our Daybreak Commentaries, live stream, basically live streams on YouTube Gaming via Daybreak Commentaries. If you want to stay tuned to both of my channels, you can follow me. My Twitter handle is right here at DC Dungeon Master, and because even though I may have an actual job, that's just for paying the bills. I rarely have spare cash laying around. So I have a Patreon set up to help fund both of these channels. There's a link down in the description below, and I'll cover that in further detail in a bit. So let's start with these two assholes. Daybreak Commentaries. Got the idea to do a commentary channel, like a group commentary channel, because I'm too boring to carry an LP by myself. If you were unfortunate enough to be following my channel while I was doing my Braid LP, you know this from experience.
Let's be honest, we're all too boring to do an LP series on our own.
Yeah. So
I could try. I
So-
just lost commitment trying to do it.
yeah. So I'm doing it with these two guys, my good friends Eric and Pat, or as you may know them online, Master Metallics and Rainbow Snake.
Formerly Naked Snake. That guy, yes.
So our general style, 2 Let's Plays at a time, one on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As I said, we'll be streaming on YouTube Gaming, but those will be like mostly for RPG streams, because we do want to cover RPGs at some point, but that's going to take too long to record and edit and commentate.
I need to do it sometime.
For me, having these two guys helping me out, as well as the general style of doing a post commentary Let's Play channel, it not only does it give me enough of a backlog, but I also have these two guys to help out with recording and editing it, and that gives me enough time to
I mean, of course,
actually put more effort into my main channel, this channel. Well,
of course, at first
this
there's
channel
two of us.
for this video when it's going up on my channel as well as on Patreon. But this channel on my main channel for when this video goes up on Daybreak. Because this is going up in 3 places: Daybreak, my channel, and our Patreon.
Daybreak.
Anyways,
Yep.
but yeah, like
Daybreak, not him.
since I have these guys to help out, I'll be able to make sure I stay up to date with my actual main channel.
And we're happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to
They're
that,
friends.
my main channel, DC Dungeon Masters, anyway, but my channel because that's my handle online. But my main series is Dungeon Crawl, wherein I discuss game design, game development, as well as topics surrounding the game industry. There's going to be a video every Friday. Not today, Friday, because, well, that's what this video is going up in case of that. So the first, I guess, real episode will be going up next Friday. And sometimes I'll do an extra videos on Mondays for one of my side series. I guess side specials would be a better name for them in retrospect. But yeah, other than Dungeon Crawl, the other main focus on my channel is game reviews. Almost any game is up for being reviewed. Old and new, RPG and shooter, modern and retro. Really, it's just when I get to playing and feeling like reviewing. I should note also on our Patreon, when you're at the $10 or higher tier, you'll have access to the recommendations channel on our Discord, where you can be able to submit your own recommendations for us to discuss, play on Daybreak Commentaries, for me to topics for me to talk about on Dungeon Crawl, or games you'd like for me to review. And the thing about reviews is they take a lot of time to make. Playing the game several times in some instances,
Oh, yeah.
taking notes, writing out the review, recording the actual game for footage,
Yeah.
filming myself after writing the review script, and editing the whole shebang. That takes a lot.
Hey, DC. Well, we'll also say that we'll be glad to join if it's a game that one of us loves so much.
Oh
Yeah, and like these guys helped me out on Daybreak. And they've offered to help out with my channel. That's kind of why I invited them to join in this thing. Also, because it's a lot easier to do one video to go into both channels than 2 different videos for each channel.
Because he's totally not lazy.
Dude, need I remind you? That's all I'm gonna say. So because of that, I'm not going to make any promises on a set schedule. What I can promise is, well, for one, when they do go up, they'll be on Saturdays. And I will be trying my damnedest to do at least one video a month. Well, one review video a month. Not just one video, period. Like I said, there's going to be a Dungeon Crawl episode every Friday. But, well, I guess that's another thing. On top of not just making the review, but also focusing on Dungeon Crawl. That's going to take a lot of time. But I can promise I'm going to be doing at least one review a month. I will try to go for 2 a month, like one every other week. But I can say, best I can say is that's what I hope for. And I can promise at least one a month. The way I handle my reviews is, sort of basic review style. I cover the story with possible in bold, italics, underline, but even then, there's a high chance of spoilers, massive spoilers for most games.
If you're going to talk about a Yoko Taro game, you can't talk about that without spoilers.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to go through a Drakengard game.
Oh, fuck me.
No spoilers.
Anyways, other than covering story, I also cover gameplay, possible completion bonuses, and replay incentives, like what keeps you playing the game and what keeps you coming back to the game for new playthroughs.
Yep.
As well,
Along with tips and tricks.
yeah, sort of. Actually, that might be another side series, sort of like walkthroughs. Well, not necessarily walkthroughs, more like tips and tricks. But we'll cover that when I get to the next slide. I should note how I cover story because of one of the side specials that I'm doing. I'll basically cover the main plot of the game and the narrative, but not necessarily, in most cases, the full story. Like, I'll try to encompass as much as I can, but it's mostly going to be a vague, not vague, general broad synopsis.
Yeah. Although sometimes you have to go beat by beat.
Yeah, well, at that point, that's where we get to my main, the side series, which we'll get to next. But other than, just talking about the game, I'll also even offer, possible background on the game's development cycle. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but if you follow my channel, you probably know. I'm a game design and development major. Well, major, I guess I'm a game designer / developer. And when I'm looking at a game, I always love looking at the game's history. It's the process that the devs went through while making the game. If it went through development hell for certain games, stuff like that. That's something I'll also be covering. As I brought up before, I have several side segments outside of dungeon crawling and reviews. Sort of think of them as like mini-series for dungeon crawl. Like I said, I have no real schedule for these at the moment because they're either too situational or I have too few subjects at the moment. So they just go up whenever I have time and get to making them. And they'll go up, they're not going to replace a dungeon crawl episode, so they'll go up on a Monday. So generally, on the best week, which I have to look forward to, is dungeon crawl every Friday, at least one review a month on a Saturday, and whenever I get to making them, a side segment on Monday. Some of the ones I have right now off the top of my head are Gear Up. Basically hardware reviews, like, say if I managed to snag a Gear VR or, console reviews, stuff like that. And this also goes in tandem, I guess, like hardware reviews / unboxing videos. I'm thinking at some point of doing loot gaming. Going up today, actually. I did an unboxing. I just recorded an unboxing video of my haul from my midnight release for the Nintendo Switch from my local GameStop. It's a beefer, fair warning.
Yeah.
The beef.
Another side segment, I brushed up on this a bit in the last bit. Plot dump. This is where, in my reviews, I'll sort of give a broad synopsis. Plot dump is where I'll go in depth. I'll do an in-depth synopsis of the plot as well as the story, and I'll do a discussion on it. I'll basically tell you the full story as is, not just in game, but also background stuff like supplementary material, and in most cases it'll be like for a series. Like off the top of my head, some of the games that I want to do it plot dump video on are Bayonetta, Metal Gear, um, Final Fantasy 15. That one I'm holding out on the story patch for.
Whenever you
And
get to doing those games, you might want to try the Drakengard universe.
yeah, and with March coming up later in March, with that 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix coming out, I can finally give a shit for about the series. And my what I'd like to consider would possibly be my magnum opus for plot dump, Kingdom Hearts. God help me.
I don't know, man. You do not know the complexity of the Yoko Taro verse.
Uh, we'll see. But yeah, so basically, like
I'll tell you what it's like whenever the video ends.
but yeah, basically like generally I'll do plot dumps for series, but sometimes I'll do it for like massive games. Um, and so I'll do an in-depth plot and story synopsis. Plot, just go through the story of the games and the overall, but sorry, the plot of each of the games, as well as the overall arcing story, and do a discussion. Just ramble on my thoughts about it. Also looking at how well it succeeds in terms of delivering a narrative, stuff like that. And I'll also possibly do some theorizing, theory crafting. It's just a theory, a game theory.
Without all bullshit.
Boo! Boo!
But yeah, just theory crafting alongside with a discussion. Um, Another one that I have in mind is cross examination. It's if you guys have ever watched the channel Extra Credits. If you haven't watched them, go check them out. They're great. I use them a lot when I'm researching game design topics. They have a sort of side series called Design Club, and that's sort of what I have in mind for cross examination. What is it's a in depth. It's like a close look at specific elements of a game and sort of analyze them, like what part do they play in the game, what part do they play to enrich the player's experience, stuff like that. To give an example, check out the Design Club episodes on Mario Kart's Blue Shell, World 1-1 of Mario 1, and Portal 1's level design.
If I may make a suggestion for an idea, defense, how defense is executed in action games differently.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, so if you want to get a better example of what I have in mind, go check those videos out. I'll probably put a link in the description down below. As I brought up earlier, it's not on this list, but another series I have in mind is sort of like not necessarily walkthrough videos, more like tips and tricks for games. Like I'm the kind of player who sort of picks up on a game's mechanics. And, like I have professional beta testing experience and beta consulting experience. So I'm the kind of player who sort of just picks up a game's mechanics and just rolls with it. And usually I find a lot of interesting, neat tips and tricks to sort of either enrich your playing experience or just being able to breeze through or just getting an easier knack for the mechanics, or a better handle of the gameplay. So that's another thing I have in mind. Again, none of these are set. Like the ones I brought up are ones I do want to do, but they're not the only ones I have in mind. I'll come up with a few others probably later down the road. Again, these have no set schedule. These are really just side projects that I want to do, because some of these are sort of areas that are a bit outside the purview of Dungeon Crawl. So it's sort of just for me to get have an excuse to not only just give you guys extra content, but for me to actually do these things without without sort of derailing the main purpose of Dungeon Crawl. Moving on from that, Patreon. Like I said, I have a job, but that goes to bills. So, in order to give you guys the entertainment, in order for us to give you guys the entertainment you guys deserve, and production values and all that, we're kind of, we're giving Patreon a try.
Yeah.
The way we have it set up, it's under, my name, my main channel's name. But the goals and tiers, they're set up with both channels in mind. Patreon goals, just we have one goal. The first goal, just like $50 a month. That'll be enough for us to reliably get a game a month. So that way I can be up to date, have current games to talk about for Dungeon Crawl or review, and we can have recent games to play on Daybreak. Another goal we have is for us to get better hardware, for recording hardware and software, especially editing software. Like we all use Movie Studio at the moment, but at some point we might want to upgrade to Vegas or Adobe Premiere, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
As for what you guys get in return for helping us out, our patron tiers are set up to appeal to fans of both channels. It gives you access to a private Discord server where you can interact with me if you follow my channel, or the three of us if you follow Daybreak. And the tiers include being able to get in a voice chat with us, being able to I brought it up earlier, but being able to recommend games to us, games for us to play on Daybreak, games for me to record or topics general game design development industry topics to talk about for Dungeon Crawl. Another would be a priority with regards to invites. We'll invite you to you'll be among the first we invite to join in for multiplayer streams, and hell, you could we might even bring you into CoCom. And for the highest tier, you'll be able to be invited to guest in Daybreak Commentary or a Dungeon Crawl episode or a game review. Stuff like that. Now, as for the payout, you're probably wondering, so here's why you want our money, here's what we get for our money, what happens with our money. So, here's how it's gonna be divided. For each payout, distribution's gonna go 40% goes to Eric and Pat, 20% each. 30% will go to me. I'm the one with 2 channels, so fair split, like 60% would basically go to the three of us, fair split for Daybreak, and I just get an extra 10% for my main channel. And then the remaining 30% would go
Basically
to...
company share.
Yeah, essentially. It's going to a shared fund available for both channels for whenever they, like, extra funded is needed. If you have any questions, check out our Patreon. There's a link down in the description below. You guys have anything to say about the Patreon before we move on?
Not really.
No.
All right. And I guess last thing on that, if you guys do support us, thank you, thank you, thank you. We really can't do this without you guys. And
We are doing this by the seat of our pants. We are doing this.
we're doing this out of love.
Yeah, out of love, off the seat of our pants, and with almost no direction.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you guys support us fuckwits.
And, well, the more, I guess, the more funding we get, the higher production values will go, and, hell, might actually be professionals. Eventually.
Give us a couple of years.
Yeah. So I guess to finish it up, schedule overview for what you guys can expect. Daybreak, 2 playthroughs, one on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the other on Tuesday and Thursday. And on weekends, that's when we'll be streaming either RPGs or, multiplayer shenanigans.
At the moment, the current schedule is I have Until Dawn on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Eric.
I have Mario 64 on Tuesday, Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
And on my channel, you'll see a dungeon crawl every Friday. You'll see reviews on Saturday. Again, no promises on how many I'll be putting out, like how frequently. I can promise at least one per month. I will try my damnedest to do like an average of 2, like one every other week. I will try, but I can only promise 1 a month at the moment. Again, the extra funding from Patreon, I'll be able to ramp up those production values, but for now, I have to work with what I got. And extra videos, the extra side videos will go on Monday, whenever I feel like making them. Like I said, no set schedule. There's, honestly, like, I barely have time enough as it is, and working on
your pants.
And working on recording shit for Daybreak, commentating for Daybreak, working on reviews and Dungeon Crawl, as well as my actual job, I really won't have much time to, really dedicate, like, an extra video, like, really to, what's the word? Too frequently, but I can promise, well, actually, I have no promises to make for these extra videos, which was basically the point of the last 2 minutes I spent rambling. If anything, the only promise I can make, you'll see them on Mondays. Yeah, cheap-ass promise. But yeah, do look forward to them whenever I get to making them. Again, you can always stay up to date with both of these channels by following me on Twitter. There's a link down in the description below. As well as, if you're a patron, I'll be posting... we will be posting updates on our Patreon Discord, Discord, as well as the Patreon feed itself on the main page. Other than that, you guys have anything to say?
Well, all I can say is I hope that we can get somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes, let us take this far.
honestly, yeah, that really is our hope. Like, we're doing this out of love, and we really would love it if, like, you guys, like, if you guys really believe in us, then we can't thank you guys enough, and it would mean and that honestly means the world to us. And if we can really get this going, get this off the ground, all the better. Anything else?
Well, that's just about it. Guess we'll see you another time, y'all.
Yeah. See you guys
Yep.
later, and as always, thank you guys for stopping by. So much. Like, words can't describe it. If you're following our channels, if you're following one of our channels, or if you're just stopping by and haven't subscribed, thanks anyways.
And as you said, words can't describe how we feel. So
Yeah.
let's just shut up.
I guess
Yep.
if anything, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we genuinely hope you'll stick around. And this for the long haul. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. We hope you'll stick around. I'm DC Dungeon Master, signing off.
I'm Rainbow Snake. Toodles.
Master Metallic's shutting down.
See you guys later.